Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Relatively Gaming Podcast, the show where we talk the weekly gaming news, what we've been playing, what we're looking forward to, and even a fun mystery topic. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host, who's very tired, as we all are, TJ at Turn-Based TJ. How are you, sir?
Doing very good. Hello. Yes, very tired. Spent the weekend at a wedding, but still happy to be here recording.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we had like the opposite of schedules. I did nothing yesterday, and you sound like you're running around. So, but yeah, happy to be recording the podcast. Yeah, a little peek behind the curtain. We are doing this on Sunday, so technically yesterday as of launch. So hi. So some of the news may be a little old or delayed, but we're here nonetheless, and excited to talk about it. So let's jump on into it. TJ, what do you got for news for us this week?
Well, this definitely happened at the beginning of last week, so this one's definitely a little bit of a staler piece of news, but it's one near and dear to my heart, and that would be from Paul Tassi at Forbes. The Elden Ring movie reveals its full cast, plus its release date. While it may have seemed like an Elden Ring movie was not going to be a great idea, given the nature of the game and how hard it was to adapt, superfan Alex Garland will attempt to be up to the challenge. And he's got quite a supporting cast to help now. A24 has just announced the full cast for the Elden Ring movie. Some cast members are already known, like its bigger stars. Here's the full list that's just been revealed, as has the release date for the film, March 3rd, 2028. So a full 2 years away. The actors on board are Kit Connor, Ben Whishaw, Kaylee Spinay, Tom Burke, Havana Rose Liu, Sonoya Mizuno, I'm butchering these names, Jonathan Price, Ruby Cruz, Nick Offerman, John Hodgkinson, Jefferson Hall, Emma Lard, and Peter Serafinowicz. Yeah, what do you think of this news? Does it get you more excited for the Elden Ring movie, or?
I wouldn't say more excited. I'm glad they have a plan or at least executing it. So, like, I think out of the names you just listed, I think Nick Offerman was the only one where I was like, it popped. An image of his face immediately popped in my head when I heard it. I do not know about the rest of them. Um, yeah, I'm intrigued just because of like the speculation said, like, how are you going to take what Elden Ring is and then shoehorn it into a 2 hour cinematic adventure, unless it's going to just be like heavily inspired by, and it's just going to be a lot of like similar art or stylizing of the enemies and the generic adventure of your main character, whoever that ends up being. So yeah, I mean, intrigued. Like, it's that morbid curiosity of like, okay, how's this gonna work out? I'm not gonna be lining up at the door to see it, at least not yet. But intrigued to see how the process goes.
Yeah, I will be there watching it at midnight for sure on release day. I'm very excited for this project. I'm a big fan of Alex Garland as well
Okay.
as Elden Ring, so to see what he could do with it. I'm really hoping they go like with like a Green Knight approach, where it's like I don't know if you've seen that movie, but it's like really it's really slowly paced, but it's like very visually appealing.
Okay.
There's not a lot of, it's not a very dialogue heavy movie,
Mm-hmm.
but there are a lot of set pieces and stuff.
Okay.
So I'm hoping Elden Ring takes a similar approach to that.
Neat.
Some people are speculating that it could be the storyline of Vike, who is the on the cover art of the of Elden Ring.
Oh.
And he is like the tarnish that almost becomes Elden Lord before you.
Okay.
And he fails because I don't want to spoil why he fails, but he
That
fails to
little
become
man.
Elden Lord. Yeah, that little guy right there, that's Vike. You can get his
Okay.
armor in the game, and it's sick. It's the fingerprint armor.
Hmm.
It's really cool because it is armor that has been hugged by the three fingers, which is blasphemy. And we'll get more into that in our next segment for
Okay.
sure. But but yeah, so it's cool to see potentially it could be his storyline, which would be pretty cool that we have a character PO perspective already, point of view. So yeah.
Now, dumb question. Alex Garland, is that just a director, or is that similar to the Bloodborne one where Septic Eye's working on it?
Oh no, so Septiceye is just a producer,
Right,
Jacksepticeye.
sure. Yep, yep, yep.
Alex Garland actually wrote a spec script, so he wrote a
Ah.
script for the movie without being paid for it, basically, and then
Mm,
shopped the script around. And then Miyazaki and George R. R. Martin both liked the script so much that they gave the green light,
mhm.
and A24 is backing and producing. Alex Garland not only wrote the spec script, but he's also directing the movie.
Okay. Has he directed anything before?
Yes, he directed Ex Machina. I don't know if you've
Okay.
seen that movie. That movie's
No, I
incredible.
haven't, but I remember there was a lot of hype around it.
Yeah, he also directed Annihilation. And he directed most recently Civil War
Okay,
with
cool.
Natalie Portman, which was I think a pretty good movie actually because it really focused on the journalism, like the war journalism aspect of this Civil War,
Hmm.
this fictitious Civil War, instead of the actual conflict itself. And I thought it ended up being a pretty good piece about war journalism and about like how gross it can be sometimes and stuff. So
Hmm.
I thought that was pretty interesting. So yeah, he's a very good director in my opinion.
All right.
Especially Ex Machina, I think is a great film, and that's a movie where it is dialogue heavy, but it is set in one location and it has a lot of cool set pieces in that one location, like a lot of cool shots. So I could see him bringing that to Elden Ring as well.
Cool. Very nice.
Yeah, so I'm very excited. I think it's going to be a really cool project. I'm less excited that it's in 2028 though.
Yeah,
I saw that and I was like, that's really far away.
it's a bit of a bummer. I mean, I got to picture a lot of that will be the graphical intensity of this project too.
Yeah,
Unless, well, even practical effects that would take a lot. Which I don't know if they would go that route. Would be cool to see like some kind of mixture, but that's probably a decent amount of the project. They'll probably do most of the filming or stuff at the beginning, and then whoopoo, send that out to work on that. So yeah, bummer.
yeah, because well, a lot of the appeal of Elden Ring is the art direction. Like a
Yes.
lot of it's just the visuals itself. So you gotta nail that visual style if you're gonna make an Elden Ring movie. And you have to think that he would have taken that into consideration upon taking on the project.
Sure. Hmm.
Um, but yeah, that's it for the Elden Ring news. I just want to get that out of the way because that's what I'm most excited
Cool.
about. I heard that news. I was like, oh hell yeah, Nick Offerman's gonna be playing Melania, so
I could see it.
that'd be great. Um, Splatoon Raiders is officially coming to the Nintendo Switch on July 23rd, 2026. While past Splatoon entries have offered PvP experiences, Splatoon Raiders is putting itself forward as a single player focused action shooter game. About 10 months after its initial reveal during the June 2025 Nintendo Direct, Splatoon Raiders finally has an official release date. Now, Brett, have you played Splatoon before in the past? One,
uh,
two, or three?
yeah, I played a little bit of one, and then I did jump into three. That was the first one I owned. They're always a lot of fun. I did notice that three didn't really keep my attention, but I don't know if like it's. I don't think that's just a three problem. I think that would be all of them.
Hmm.
But from what I played of each of them, it was a fun time. I enjoyed the silly paint mechanics and didn't feel too rip my hair out in terms of the multiplayer stuff. So yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, I like the multiplayer because even if you suck at shooting other enemies, you can
Yep,
just put paint on the ground
just
and still
rolling
contribute to
away,
your
la la
team.
la, just covering things. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that I did like that aspect of the game. I am intrigued for a single player mode. I know they had a little bit of single player offerings with like the Octolings or whatever
Yeah.
in previous games. So it's interesting to see them do a whole single player game, especially because I didn't think that content was necessarily the strongest
Okay.
with the Octoling update. I think that was in Splatoon 3, could have been Splatoon 2. I don't remember. They all kind of meld together like some
Sure.
paint. So it all kind of runs together. But yeah, interesting to see they're going to do a single player game. Do you think you'll try out the single player game?
I don't think so, and I think that's more of just me like I got my Splatoon fix and kind of check the box type thing. In comparison to, as everybody can see if you're watching the video, the new background. There's a lot of stuff on the shelf I haven't really dived into, and that's only the physical stuff, not the digital. So it's like, I don't know. I'm happy they're making it, because I know a lot of people do enjoy Splatoon for what it is. Obviously, it's a different take on it with being the more single player stuff, but maybe that will help bring in people who are like, oh, that seems fun, but I don't want to deal with the multiplayer.
Yeah, yeah, that's completely fair, and hopefully it does attract a new audience. But we will see.
Hmm.
July is rapidly approaching, so.
Yeah.
Capcom has announced that Pragmata managed to surpass 1 million copies sold in just 2 days after launch.
Mm-hmm.
So only 2 days after launch, Pragmata sold 1 million copies. That's pretty impressive,
Yeah.
especially for a new IP. It's always good to see new original IP with new original gameplay ideas become successful. Are you interested in Pragmata at all? Have you been watching anybody play through it? I've been watching a couple playthroughs myself.
Gotcha. When it was like announced and stuff like that, I thought it was cool in concept, but it didn't get my attention. When they did a gameplay reveal, I feel like it was a few months ago. And the hacking mechanics, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. How you kind of Hugh, is that the main dude? Is that his
Yeah.
name? Okay. So Hugh's obviously protecting Diana. So he's got all the pew pews while she kind of rocket raccoons on his shoulder. And she can hack into the enemies to make them weaker, and then Hugh can take advantage of that and deal more damage.
Yes.
I thought that was a fun, nice dynamic between the two of them. It's not high on my list, but I will admit, with everybody playing it and talking about it, and seeing clips here and there, I'm like, oh, it is garnering my interest. But it might be one of those things where I play it down the road when it's on like a sale or something. But yeah, I'm happy they're having their success. We've talked about it. Also with Resident Evil 9, Capcom continues to crush it. So good for them.
Yeah, great for them. Yeah, I'm interested in the game, but like you, I might wait for sale or something. I don't know if I'm gonna go out and spend $70 off, for it off the rip.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely it's definitely on my radar. I'm intrigued by a good single player game like that. You don't want to miss that or pass that up. But speaking of Capcom, Resident Evil Requiem leak hints at a mercenaries mode.
Hmm.
Data mining by Psykov has revealed several unused audio tracks hidden within the Elden Ring, the Resident Evil Requiem game files, including one track that contains clock ticking sounds reminiscent of the countdown indicator in Mercenaries mode. Audiences have already marked their calendars for Resident Evil Requiem update coming in May, which game director Koshi Nakanishi teased as a surprise minigame. At the time of the initial announcement, players already assumed that Nakanishi was perhaps referring to Mercenaries mode, and now the audio track discovered by Skyrav has further bolstered the belief that Mercenaries mode may be on the way to Resident Evil Requiem sooner than expected. So that's really exciting. I'm I'm pretty excited for Mercenaries mode myself. Yeah, I'm excited for Mercenaries mode. But are you gonna jump into Mercenaries mode, do you think? Would you play a Mercenaries mode of Requiem?
That's like the is it just waves of enemies? Did RE4 remake have this?
RE4 remake had it for sure.
Okay.
It's waves of enemies, but you get time for each zombie that you kill, and then it increases the timer. So otherwise, you're on a time limit, and you're trying to get ranks with different characters on different stages.
Right.
Different
Okay.
characters have different kits and stuff. So
Okay. I think I dipped my toes into it in RE4 remake. I mean, it sounds great that they're adding it. I don't know, because it was similar to when I finished RE9, how I talked about, like, okay, maybe going after the platinum there, chasing more trophies, doing replays. If the motivation is there, haven't touched it. So it'd be one of those things where I'd have to get the wheel turning again, or it'd have to pull me in terms of an interest level. But yeah, it's cool that they're adding it, because I know that's a big thing for a lot of people. It's just fun replay value on top of obviously the story elements of unlocking the different guns and whatnot. So just more for the players to have. That's cool.
yeah, no, I'm excited to have another reason to jump back into the game, other than just replaying it. So
Yeah.
I think that'll be fun.
So you said the people are looking forward to it in May. Sorry if you already said. Do you think it's going to be a free update at that time?
Yeah, Mercenaries mode's almost always free.
Okay.
It's just a free thing, so that would be really cool.
Mhm.
And there's already a free update in May, like I said, teased by Nakanishi as being having a mini game with it. So what mini game
Okay.
could there be besides Mercenaries mode?
Exactly. Perfect. Very nice.
Yeah, unless they just bring back the shooting gallery from Resident Evil 4 for no reason.
While fun, not the same.
Yeah, not quite the same. Well, yeah, while fun, I'm not getting my attaché trinkets or whatever to to bolster. That's really what I was playing that game for. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced finally gets announced for July 9th, 2026. I feel like I've covered the leaks of this game like 3 times on the show, but yeah, it's using the Anvil engine, and this remake will cost $60. What do you think about it costing $60?
Sorry, I feel bad for people because I feel like I'm on a loop. I'm like, press the Brett responds button. It's really cool for people who want it. I don't have much skin in the game. I think we talked about it with the leaks. I didn't play Black Flag. I really enjoyed what Assassin's Creed 3 brought to the table with Connor. Excuse me, Cat. With Connor, and especially the Civil War story and time setting.
Hmm.
I really, really enjoyed that. I also like the forest mechanics of jumping through that, so it wasn't always cities, while frustrating at times of navigating, sure. Um, but when Black Flag came out, I think that was towards my point of like, I'm all Assassin's Creed out, you know? Um, so I didn't jump into it. I heard that the ship combat was the big thing, and then
Yes.
I watched some of it, and I was like, this is just Sly Cooper, because I had played that in either 2 or 3. There's a pirate area, and it was fun, but I was like, that just looks the same. So yeah, this is one of those cases where I'm happy that people are getting it and are happy that people are excited for it. The $60 price tag, while, you know, a little bit of a bummer, honestly, I'm okay with it. Black Flag was Xbox 360, so we're looking at a 10-year gap since having it. So while, yeah, I'm sure we would all have preferred like a 40 or something like that. I mean, it's not the worst in the world, and you know, if 60's not up your budget, give it a minute. I'm sure Ubisoft will put it on sale at some point. Or if you have Ubisoft Connect or whatever their club thingy is, or membership, I don't know if you get any discount there or something, but you could also go that route too. I think What Culture Gaming, shout out to them, and Scott Tailford, I think he talked about for another Ubi title where he signed up for their membership, was able to place that new game right away, either just for the subscription price or something, and then he stopped and canceled it afterwards. So that could be a route for people if they're trying to save a few bucks. But
Yeah,
research.
that's yeah, no, that's a valid point. I do think $60 is a little high, but yeah, the ship combat in the game is really good. Um, I know you said it's just like Sly Cooper, but I think it's really cool that you can jump off the ship and then just swim and jump on the other person's ship if you want to.
Sure.
Or you can officially board them if you get close enough and you damage them enough and stuff.
Yep.
You can go and just absolutely take their ship and you get supplies and stuff. I remember I spent quite a long time in Black Flag when I initially played it on the 360 era, where I was just doing that. I was just farming the ship pieces and stuff, and farming all the supplies and everything that you get from raiding ships, and it was a lot of fun. So um, it's cool that it's being remastered, but at the same time, they said they're not going to do the RPG mechanics of the more recent games, like Odyssey, Origins, and things like that. They said they're gonna keep it the way that it was, like classic Assassin's Creed. But they are going to be adding some content in the game, including over 6 hours of additional missions, where they're including Blackbeard into the game.
Oh, neat. Okay.
So that's pretty cool, and maybe that justifies the price point a little bit more. But
Sure.
I still think it's a little steep for a 10-year-old game that they're not going to be fundamentally changing that much to.
Yeah, but didn't they build it from the ground up? Like, it's all new graphics and stuff like that. It's not just a port of the old one.
Yeah, I think so. It's in the Anvil engine, so I think that's their most recent engine.
Yeah,
So they
so
would have had to redo the assets.
That's
Yeah.
probably why it's that up-res visuals and stuff like that. Like, I could understand if it was just, yeah, this looks exactly the same type deal, then it's like, oh, yeah, I don't know. But the up the visuals, the added gameplay, things like that. Hopefully quality of life changes as well. Makes more sense.
Yeah. This next story is close to both of us here, and that is Slay the Spire 2 is being review bombed again, leading to Steam score rating dropping all the way down to mixed. Slay the Spire 2 is a long-awaited sequel to one of the most beloved and popular deck-building roguelikes of all time, and enjoyed an overwhelmingly positive review rating on Steam early on. Most new updates have brought them with a negative sentiment from the players, however. Skipping that. After Slay the Spire 2's March 2026 beta update reverted many of the previously unpopular balancing changes, things were looking up for the developer Megacrit. That trend is not set to continue, though, as update 0.103.2 is again the target of review bombing. The recent patch, the Harbinger update, constitutes commercial fraud, says one of the recent reviews. The developers are not iterating, they are arrogantly eviscerating the game with a disgusting, condescending attitude of teaching the player how to have fun. They have completely gutted the core archetypes I spent hundreds of hours mastering. This is the reviewer's self-translated piece of text. It's worth noting, with the original having been posted in simplified Chinese. This is a hostile, gutted shell of what was promised. I am genuinely nauseated by every minute I've spent with this build of this game, the reviewer concludes. So, quite devastating reviews. I can't believe it's all the way down to mixed. When I think the game is incredible. I don't know which mechanics they're talking about having been eviscerated or not, but I feel like with any meta, especially in a card game, you just kind of learn to adapt and change your tactics up.
Sure. This is fucking ridiculous. Just you are paying for early access. That means the game is not done. They are going to change your whittle cards and what they do. It's not the end of the world. From just that one review, you spent 100+ hours, allegedly, playing this game. How much did this game cost you? 15, 20? I can't remember how much I spent on it. Something
I think
around
it's like
that
25
range.
or 30.
Okay, 25, 30. If you've put $100 into this, you have paid $2 and whatever for an hour of your experience. I think you're fine. I think you got your money's worth. You didn't get fucked over. Okay. Also, once again, you are paying for a product early. It's early access. This is going to be buggy or change or adapt. This allows the developer to get the money up front and allow you to be part of this experience. Can you give feedback? Yes, of course. But don't be a fucking idiot about it. Jeez, I'm just insane. I don't get it.
It's so insane.
Just
and
because,
I hate review bombing too.
Yeah, like just because they changed a mechanic because, oh, maybe this character was too strong, or this strategy was too strong, or this enemy needs to be stronger, or whatever it is. That's it. It's not. It just baffles me. And it's a single player experience too. Like, yes, you could play multiplayer, but you're not playing against each other. Like, maybe these balance changes are the multiplayer stuff because this is their first time, at least in the Slay the Spire games, experimenting with it. And they realize, oh, these players doing this strategy, it's too effective. We got to make the enemies more difficult. Or maybe the enemies are too difficult. Like, I don't know what changes have been made, so it's hard for me to speak on specifics. But, like, It just... that's the whole point of early access. They didn't even need to do this with Megacrit. I'm sure they made hand over fist money with the first one for how popular it is and how people talk about it, to then have them just give you this opportunity to play it early or while it's in development still. You got to understand what you're signing up for. So, like I said, people are allowed to be critical and have a negative feeling towards something. That's totally fine. But the internet is being the internet again and just shut up. I'm just so annoyed with it. You like my new scarf?
Yeah. I do like your new cat scarf. No cats were harmed in the making of this scarf.
No, he harms me all the time.
I feel like, back to Slay the Spire, though, I feel like this is kind of the caveat of early access. You have to understand this.
Yes.
You're exactly right. And this is why I often avoid early access games, because I don't like my mechanics to change in games that often. I gave Slay the Spire 2 a chance anyway, even though it was early access, because I believe in Megacrit so much, and I know that their balancing changes will be good. So I haven't really jumped in the game for an extended period of time since these changes have taken place, but I can't imagine that they've changed the game so drastically that I would say that I was nauseated by it, or go off on one of these tirades, or even worse, review bombing. It's mixed reviews now, which is absolutely disgraceful. That game's incredible. There's no way it deserves mixed reviews just because people didn't like the balance changes. that's just ridiculous.
For sure.
And going on a bit of a positive note, I'm just going to shout out this game called Fear Tall Grass, which was announced and shown off for multiple platforms, including the Switch. It's a Pokemon-inspired indie game being developed by Forgotten Bastions and is putting strategy at its forefront, and as such, its core gameplay loop is multifaceted. During a mission, players will be presented with a square map that resembles a board game. Players will be prompted to roll some dice, and their character will move along the edge of the board one tile at a time. These tiles can offer up vital resources or threaten players with a combat encounter. When a combat encounter is triggered, players will be met with a 2D arena with an enemy on one side and their own beast on the other, just like Pokemon. Players will need to use these turn-based inputs to command their beasts, called Vilekin here, to attack the enemy. Once the foe is weak enough, players can attempt to capture the creature and add it to their team. According to Fear Tall Grass's Steam page, the game will feature 90 Vilekin at launch, with 15 unique types being present for each of the game's 6 distinct elements. I think this game looks really cool. We've talked about cassette beasts and Power World and stuff on this podcast before, so any type of Pokemon like game I think is worth a look and worth a check it out. I definitely am keeping my eyes peeled for Fear of Tall Grass. It looks like a really fun game. Have you heard of this game at all, or am I breaking it to you?
No, you're breaking it to me. I appreciate you bringing it to my attention. Sounds fun. I really like the title. That's really clever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll definitely be checking this out, or check a look, as we say. Sounds cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's all I had for news. Ending it with a bit of a positivity. I hope you have all positive news for us this week, Brett.
We'll see as I move the cat. So we did have some shared ones. So yeah, actually all my news is good.
All right.
All right. So first one, selfish plug for your boy. I've talked about PAX enough. The 2 trivia PAX panels, Jacob McCourt's video game trivia. Wow, blanked on the title for a second there. Sorry, Jacob. His panel is live, as well as Adam Gumbert's Game Pretty. Both are out on YouTube, and you can check that out in full if you want to see what happened at PAX. I'll put the links down below in the description. So you can check those out there, give them a follow and support and all that fun stuff. If you want to see a familiar face on a different podcast, I was briefly on the Trophy Rooms podcast this past week. They are doing a little bit of a fundraiser for SGF, Summer Games Fest, and travels and whatnot. I helped them out a little bit, and they were kind enough to be like, hey, hop on the show and do a question. I was like, oh, shit. So I'm on for about 10 minutes, so if you want to see that and me fumble over my words, hey, you can do that over at the Trophy Room. So, yeah, like I said, selfish plug. But on to the real news. We have... Throw up the X, because TJ hasn't played it yet. Ball X Pit is getting their second free update as of today, as the podcast releases. Right. So free update coming out on April 27th for those of you guys who maybe listen to this in the future. You're getting more characters, more balls, stuff like that. So jump back into the pit with me and have some fun with the new free content from the team over there. Speaking of indies, Idea Xbox had a big showcase this past Thursday. Had a lot of independent games that they're showing off that are coming to Game Pass and Xbox platforms. I'm sure some of them are coming to other places, but obviously they're going to promote Xbox here. So once again, like I do with other showcases, I wanted to give some shout outs to ones that took my attention or grabbed my attention. The showcase opened up with a game called There Are No Ghosts at the Grand. This is a mixture of 2 types of games, one being Power Wash Simulator and one being like a ghost hunting type game. I think this one would be up your alley, TJ, because it has a lot of what's the Cthulhu like?
Lovecraftian.
Thank you. Has a lot of Lovecraftian inspiration with the creatures that are there. So seems like a fun game and mechanics that they're combining with that. Cool. Next one was Vapor World, Over the Mind. This was like a Hollow Knight where it's that 2D Metroidvania. But the thing that caught my attention is it really reminded me of Lies of P. The character kind of has that Pinocchio-esque vibe. He has a big weapon and sword that you can mess around with, and then he has this like disformed monster arm that he also has at his disposal. So
Whoa.
thought it was very cool there. The next one from our friends over at Aggro Crab, who made Peak, as well as Another Crab's Treasure. They have Crash Out Crew. It's a multiplayer forklift game coming out May 28th. So you all have your little forklifts, and you're trying to manage delivering different parcels to different spots and making sure the deliveries go out on time. That looked like fun chaos there. Indie hit RV There Yet is coming to console, so fun one there. I've seen a lot of people playing that online. Another shout out or reveal for Escape Academy 2. That's I played the first one. If you like escape rooms with a little bit of a story in between, I highly recommend Escape Academy. So now Escape Academy 2, obviously more of that, but now in a 3D environment. I think the full thing's in 3D because I remember the puzzles of the first one being in 3D. They got upped visuals, so you can check that out. A funny one, I think this one also got revealed earlier, but we got another look at Bistro, and that is spelled Beast, B-E-A-S-T-R-O. You're a cat chef, and it's a farming simulator where you're cooking for the adventurers before they go out on these quests. So you're playing majority of that cat's journey of prepping things, growing crops and whatnot. But the aspect that I think we would like is you also get to play what the adventurers do in a Slay the Spire type inspired game. So they have cards and they have different buffs based on what they ate from the meals that they got and whatnot. And they're gathering resources that you bring back for the chef to make better and better meals each time. So thought that was cool. We got a look at Speedrunners 2. Speedrunners, the first one, is a fun game where it's multiplayer. And you and some friends are literally just running around this obstacle course in circles until there's one man left standing. After the first player gets eliminated, the screen starts to close in on players, so it creates more pressure. And as soon as you hit the borders, you're eliminated. I've had a lot of fun with the first one. So the second one's coming out in July, and maybe this will be an addition to Extra Life's game rotations. We'll have to see. And then the last one I want to give a shout out to is another look we got at the game called Screenbound. Screenbound is a platformer, essentially, but the crazy thing that the game developers are doing here is it's two perspectives that you need to platform on. One, your main character's three-dimensional world that they are navigating. The second is a map and obstacles on a Game Boy color that the player is holding. So you have to see what's on that screen and manage what you're doing in the 3D world at the same time. Breaks my brain even thinking how that's possible and how they thought to do those things. But it seems really cool. No release date on that one yet, but cool to see that showcased on the Xbox stage because, like I said, I have seen that before. I believe at other independent showcases. So, like I said, those are some of my highlights. There was plenty more that was revealed at ID at Xbox, so you can check that out on YouTube if you did miss that. All right, I got one more for us, sticking on the Xbox side of things. This comes from Forbes and Paul Tassi over there. Xbox knocks down Game Pass price at the cost of Call of Duty. New Xbox CEO Asha Sharma has rolled out her first major decision, one of many likely to reverse some of Xbox's major changes and pursuits over the past few years. And that would be undoing the enormous, ridiculous 50% price increase to Xbox Game Pass from $20 to $30 a month. Now that has been hacked back down, not all the way, but there's a catch. Game Pass Ultimate will drop down from $30 a month to $23 a month, a 23% drop this time, though still a 15% increase from the old figure, and PC Game Pass is down from $16.50 to $14 as well. The catch here is something that was rumored before today's announcement that Xbox will now remove future Call of Duty titles as Game Pass Day 1 launches, and they will be added a full year later. This does not affect current COD titles players already have access to, but yes, that will start this fall with an as of yet unannounced new entry. There is no word about potential discount for Game Pass subscribers, but doing the math, $240 plus $70 equals $310 to buy COD independently is still less than the $360 price based on the former $30 a month. But since that price was totally crazy, I'm not sure this is exactly an epic win, but still worse than where things were before all this. So yeah, TJ, they're dropping Call of Duty from Game Pass. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I personally was someone who used Game Pass and never touched Call of Duty on there,
Mm-hmm.
so it doesn't affect me personally. But I know a lot of people that might be a deciding factor for them.
Mm.
It's like, oh, I buy Game Pass and I can play Call of Duty online with my friends at least. So that might affect Game Pass's bottom line overall, especially because it was a big acquisition for Microsoft to go out and get Call of Duty and get Activision Blizzard. So we'll have to see how that all shakes up to see if they, still if they're still getting sales numbers and stuff. I'm sure it's Call of Duty, so they're gonna sell a gorillion copies in the fall and make back their investment, I'm sure. But we'll have to see if that affects the player base at all or anything like that, or if it affects Game Pass sales. We don't really know. It is interesting to see that the new CEO is taking, drastic steps to do things the way she thinks there should be done. I think that's a good sign. That's things are likely to change over at Xbox and maybe go in a different direction.
Mm.
Looks like she has a lot of say and sway in that, so that's really cool. That at least that she's making changes already.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a good point that you brought up. I wonder how many people will drop off Game Pass because of this change. I never really thought of that, but I guess that would be the more smarter financial decision if you are mainly like a COD player with like I don't want to say casual, but like you play your Call of Duties, you play your sports games, like those are your things, and you don't really branch outside of that. So if you did invest in Game Pass because yeah, I'm going to save some money off of this to then go off of it to play and buy the copy of COD separately, yeah, I guess Game Pass is going to take a dip there. But I think it's smart in terms of you got to make some money back type thing. So if you're at least where Xbox seems to be and on the downturn lately, like to now have Call of Duty back on, yeah, you got to buy it to play it. Maybe they can start recouping and turning around whatever bad luck they've had recently. So time will tell. Yeah, it's another one where it doesn't affect me personally, but I'm curious to see the results going forward. I wonder also if they could have made like if it would have been enticing enough to make like Call of Duty Pass, like this is the Game Pass with Call of Duty, and then make a separate tier without it. I don't know if that would have helped anything, because I know Game Pass is what they were previously pushing of like this has to be our main thing, but maybe we're on finally the backside of that where like, ooh, this isn't working how we wanted to. We got to start taking some steps back, and try and correct the ship, for lack of a better term. But yeah, time will tell. But interesting.
Yeah, they would have had to seen some internal numbers to justify this, to be like, oh, okay, there's this many players who are playing just Call of Duty on Game Pass. Let's pop that right out then and keep it separate. So they'll still pay the price tag for that. So
For
there has
sure.
to be a good reason for that because yeah, the Game Pass price was too high, and her recognizing that is good.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, there has to be some internal numbers that would give her the idea that, you know what, if we take Call of Duty out, we could actually lower this price back down.
Yeah. Well, very nice. So that's the news for this week. So now we're going to move on to our next section of what you been playing, man. So TJ, what have you been playing, my dude?
I've been playing, to everyone's surprise, Elden Ring. I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring. I was playing a samurai build to build up to play the DLC, but I got a little bit bored because I'm in the mid section of the game and I've just played that part of the game so many
Mm.
times. So got a little bored, but I fired up my Madness build. So for those of you who don't know, there's a Madness ending in Elden Ring. You can go blasphemous, as it were, and you get a separate maiden even if you do this. There's the two fingers, which represents faith, and then there's the three fingers, which represents madness. And on my playthrough, my first playthrough, I did blind, and I accidentally stumbled upon the three fingers,
Mm-hmm.
which is supposed to be, they're actually kind of hard to find. So the fact that I accidentally stumbled upon them is kind of crazy because I thought I was going in the right direction, but I was going in the complete wrong direction. Um, I just missed where you have to like climb up a dragon wing, and I didn't realize that, so I just
Mm.
completely missed the next section of the Lindell City Capital. So I went down down underneath the city. Anyway, so in my head canon, that is the official ending, is the madness ending. So when I made my second character, I was like, I think there's actually madness incantations and spells and stuff. So I made a character that uses only madness incantations, and also I use the blasphemous blade from Rykard, and I have Vike's fingerprint armor as well. So it's a completely blasphemous build, and I've had a lot of fun playing the game. I was stuck on Melania trying to fight her, um, and I decided to go back into that character and play the DLC. So I started the DLC with this character, and yeah, the madness spell's been working just fine in the
Hmm.
DLC. There was a couple of bosses that gave me some problems, but the blasphemous blade is basically cheating. It's so powerful. It does so much stagger damage. It also heals you if you use the weapon art, and heals you when you kill an enemy. You take a little bit of their health back for yourself. And if you combine that with the Taker's cameo, which is a talisman, then you get health twice when you kill an enemy. And if you combine that with Rykard's Greater Rune, then you get healed 3 times when you kill an enemy.
Okay.
So I've just been walking around every time I kill an enemy, I heal like half my health bar.
Sweet.
It's very nice. So that's been a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun playing the Madness build. I think when I played the DLC the first time, I was using a faith build, and it just wasn't up to par. I don't think I really. I was also role playing where I was like, I'm going to use only faith weapons. I'm going to use the coated sword, and I'm going to use all the Erd Tree blessing faith things,
Hmm.
and it just wasn't as powerful. But this Madness build is powerful enough to actually power through. And I fought this one enemy. I forget the name of them, so I apologize. But it was a half scorpion, just the tail and a little bit of the legs, and then half centipede. Also, just like the tail, they twist together, and sitting on top of that twisted mangled form of half centipede, half scorpion, is a lady who has butterfly wings and a giant spear. Um, Quite a crazy enemy type. I fought this boss for it took me like an hour or two to beat this boss. It was kicking my ass, but I forgot my Elden Ring training, which was you have to roll towards the enemy, not away from them. I kept rolling away, and the scorpion arm would hit me and swipe me. So I started rolling towards the enemy, and then I won eventually. So
Nice.
that was a really fun boss fight. I'm to the point now where it's like I found this tree, and it says you have to burn the tree with Mesmer's fire. And I'm like, wow, I don't know where to get Mesmer's fire. So now I'm like backtracking through the DLC, going through trying to find Mesmer himself. So I've never beaten Shadow of the Erd Tree DLC, but I'm pretty confident I can now with this Madness build. And even if I can't, I can still keep chipping away with my new Samurai and see if I can get them up there. I did find a new dragon today. It was like a ghost flame dragon. And so now I'm really tempted to play with my dragon incantation build and play the DLC with that character too, so I can slay that dragon, and hopefully I will get a new dragon power in the Cathedral of Dragons, and I can dragon communion. I'm saying the word dragon a lot. I can dragon communion um, with the dragon heart, and I will be able to do a new dragon incantation where I spew Ghost Flame out. I think that'll be really cool. Ghost Flame is very powerful in the game. So that is intriguing me. There's a lot of new weapons and enemy types, and just yeah, it's basically like Elden Ring all over again. It's like a mini version of Elden Ring. It's really impressive. I see now why the DLC was nominated for Game of the Year, just the DLC itself, because it is very impressive. I thought I'd seen like most of the DLC, and then I stepped into a new area, and I was like, "Whoa, look at this area, sick!" And there's still 2 maps that I haven't collected in the area, and I've been playing for probably like 15 hours or so now. So
Damn.
yeah, it's pretty massive. I will also say that they've finally improved PC performance on Elden Ring PC, because before I was playing on like middling settings because I just wanted the performance to be maximum, because like the art direction in Elden Ring is strong enough to carry you through visually.
Hmm.
So like I don't need the graphics to be insane for me to play it. I just wanted to make sure that I could swing my sword and there'd be no misframes or whatever.
Hmm.
But now with the stability performance patches, I have knocked the graphics all the way up to maximum, and the game is just humming. It looks beautiful. It plays great. So it's really great that they've kept adding these stability patches throughout the game, throughout time. So it's been really cool. I'm gonna have a lot of fun jumping back into Elden Ring. So much so that I even played Elden Ring Night Rain. Um, I played that game a little bit. Still was confused as to what to do, and it's a little hard single player.
Mm.
But I watched a YouTube video on like what you're supposed to do and stuff, and you can actually see it's really not that confusing once you know what you're looking at because basically you choose a night boss and then a Night Lord. Yeah, I think that's what's called a Night Lord. Choose a Night Lord, and they have an icon next to their name, and it tells you which element they're weak to. So then, when you drop onto the map, every single point of interest on the map has a little element symbol next to it, and that means if you beat the boss in that area, you will get a weapon with that element on it.
Mm. Okay.
So you kind of figure out which Night Lord you're going after, and then you're like, okay, I need holy damage, which is the one I'm going after right now. So then I look for all the runes with holy damage in it, and I beeline it towards them, and I try and do that little boss before the because there's still the Fortnite ring coming in. So I
Yeah.
try and beeline it before the Fortnite ring comes in. I've still yet to be successful in beating a single Night Lord or surviving all three nights, but I think I'm going to invest more time into that game once Elden Ring stops intriguing me so much. I've just been playing a lot of Elden Ring proper. So I also bought Elden Ring for a friend, and I've been playing through with them, and it felt great. I think I think it's Malcolm Gladwell who said, which we won't have to get into the how pragmatic or good Malcolm Gladwell is. He's neither here nor there, but he did say that you have to do a prerequisite 1,000 hours into something to become an expert in it.
Mm.
And I am nearing that with Elden Ring. I'm like 850 hours. I'm like getting close to 1,000 hours. I might become an Elden Ring expert, and I still haven't even done some of the challenge runs and some, I haven't gotten all the trophies. I haven't done, there's a lot of stuff in the game that I still haven't done that I still want to do. So it's very cool. I think it might be my favorite game of all time. I always put it on my favorite games of all time list, but I think it is taking over Super Smash Bros. For me just because I know it's really cool to be able to be like in my head. I've probably forgotten algebra to make room for all the Elden Ring knowledge, but in my head I'm like, oh, you can get this Ash of War right here on the map, and you can go over here into this ruin, and you can get this weapon, and you can do this, and I just know where like half of the stuff is in that game to set up like half the builds. So it was really cool. My friend was doing an intelligence build,
Hmm.
and I've only done one intelligence build, but even still from doing that, I was like, oh yeah, I know you need the meteorite staff in the lake in Caelid, so you got to go right here in these ruins, and you want to get rock sling, and then you want to make sure you talk to Sorcerer Sellen, and you want to do this, and you want to do that, and just getting all that stuff is always a lot of fun. Um, so been really enjoying Elden Ring and Elden Ring Night Rain. I even bought another game, which we'll talk about in a future segment on the podcast, just in a little bit, but in the same vein, because I've been
Cool.
enjoying Elden Ring so much. But
Nice.
what about you? Does that make you want to play Elden Ring at all anymore?
Yeah, it always does. Because, I mean, I loved our time even playing it when I visited however many years ago. And we're just kind of running through it. And yeah, exactly like you said, you're like, all right, go here, do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. And then we're like, oh shit, you're fighting a dragon. Okay. So yeah, it's always fun hearing people gush about any of the Souls likes. But yeah, this definitely is like, damn, I should try it again and play it. And even like the Night Rain talk, I was like, oh, that does sound fun. Do you know if they have anything in the works to make it crossplay, or if they said anything about it, or
They
cross
have not
platform?
made any single comment about it, not a single one. I looked into it to see if there'd be some hope of like, hey, in the future they're gonna add crossplay, but no. Not only is Elden Ring proper not crossplay at all, so I couldn't. My friend is on PlayStation 5, and I cannot go into her world and help her with a boss, which I really desperately wanted to do
Hmm.
with any of my 10 characters. Um,
Hmm.
and so not only can I not do that, but Elden Ring Night Rain itself also not crossplay, and no word on that. So that is a
Interesting.
bit of a bummer.
Yeah, you would think, especially in today's space, like with multiplayer games, just you want that player base as large as possible. So to have no option for cross-platform for Night Rain, Elden Ring, okay, fine. I kind of forgot that could be multiplayer. For Night Rain specifically, it's like, huh? Because you think that would help the longevity of it too. Is like, okay, well, maybe PlayStation's lacking on the server people, but Xbox is still thriving, so that still gives those PlayStation folks people to play with. Maybe in someday, but also, I guess it depends. Like, if they see Night Rain's really kicking off, maybe we should invest in it. But if it's like, it's already kind of dwindled and wasn't as big of a hit as we thought it would be, maybe we shouldn't invest in it. I don't know. Night Rain, it's been like 50-50 from what I've heard. Is like people really like it or it kind of died off. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's just a bit of a bummer that that's not an option.
Yeah, and it's a little weird too because when you start Elden Ring on PC, Night Rain or Elden Ring proper, it starts it automatically fires up easy anti-cheat. So
Okay.
you'd think with them putting anti-cheat in the game that they would make it crossplay because then it makes PC gaming, more comparable to the PlayStation
Hmm.
5 and Xbox
Hmm.
experience there. You don't have to worry about cheaters or anything like that in the game.
Yeah. Good point. All
Yeah, that's
right.
all I've been playing. What have you been playing, Brett?
Over to me. All right. I have two quick updates and then a longer one. I mean, I guess they're all quick updates, but so Slay the Spire. Hi. Yes, it's still I go over to that. I still haven't played more of the second one, but I am playing the first one because I'm trying to beat this damn thing. And it's also my, nice little veg game where I don't have to give it much thought at this point. TJ, I saw a light at the end of the tunnel. I saw a light at the end of the goddamn tunnel. So I've talked about after you beat a run with each character, then it asks you to do it again, but it adds these 3 arrows or fragments that you need to collect throughout the first 3 floors before reaching that end boss.
Right.
If you do that, then there's something after. I hadn't done it before. I've tried many, many times, and I keep dying at Act Three's fucking boss, okay? Well, I was going with my homie The Defect because he's my OG now.
Mhm.
I got up to Act 3. Now, each of the 3 shards you acquire different ways. The green shard you do by defeating an elite enemy that has like little flames behind it on the map as a clear indicator. I always
Okay.
try and do that in the first section because that is typically the hardest one, and elites are pretty tough as enemies in general. So I always try
Yeah.
to just rip that band-aid, get it out of the way. The other 2 are much easier to get. The red one is at any rest site. You can choose to grab it instead of resting or upgrading a card.
Okay,
The
nice.
blue one is always at a chest. So you take the money from the chest and then you have to choose between an artifact or the fragment. So you get kind of options there. Now, I was having a great one with the Defect. I had a lot of 0 cost cards of like vulnerabilities and claws and stuff like that, as well as my orbs, right?
Yeah, I love the claw cards.
Yeah. So I'm getting to the last final chunk, and I'm like, oh my god, all right, I'm gonna finally make it to this end boss again with all 3 fragments. I'm gonna be ready. I didn't have the blue one. I didn't have the chest one, and I had just been like kind of going autopilot and didn't even think. So I got to this last little bit. I'm like, oh, there's no chest. There's no area I can get one. No, I'm having this great run. I got a great deck, and I'm like, fuck, I'm not even
Oh,
gonna be able to try it. There were some question marks. I was like, I gotta gamble it. I gotta just hope that this will randomly generate up and be a chest. Thank the gods of Slay the Spire, it did. I got a chest. I grabbed that fragment. I went and I was against the final act boss there. It was the stupid donut and the triangle or diamond thingy. And those guys have been the ones who have been the bane of my existence because they constantly buff each other and alternate attacking turns. It's just frustrating. Anywho, I did it. I beat Act 3. I had all the fragments. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. Awesome. The last section, and I'm sorry for kind of spoiling this,
that's fun.
it is a very short run. It's 4 stages. I believe it's a rest site, it's a shop, it's an elite, and then it's the final whatever the fuck boss it is. I died at the elite. I didn't even
Oh
get to
no.
see what that thing was. I was like, no!
Oh man.
If they rearranged it where obviously the rest site was at the end, I think I would have been fine. Because similar to normal acts, if you finish an act and you go to the next one, you recharge your health, everything, you're back fully healed. But because they
Yeah.
threw that at the beginning, I was like, damn it. So the light at the end of the tunnel was there, but unfortunately I did not grasp it, and I'm back to square one. So shit. Just wanted to talk about that disappointment.
Wow, that sounds pretty intense to have all the stars aligned to make that perfect run. But it's cool that there's that challenge for players who are good enough to get to that level like you are. Like I said, I still struggle to get through the first three acts on the normal one without having to collect the fragments and stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I appreciate your praise. I am not that good. There are a lot of deaths. There are a lot of deaths, but I appreciate it. Hades 2 on PlayStation. I did finally get to play last night. I only did 2 runs because I was getting mad tired. But I'm still killing it. I got to Scylla in my first run. No, sorry. I got to the second area in my first run, and then I got the Scylla in the second run. Didn't beat her, unfortunately. I got her like real close, and then she screamed at me, and I didn't dodge fast enough, and I died. But loving it on a PlayStation. I did run into a character. I think her name is Eris, Eris. I ran into her way earlier than I remember playing on stream. I remember her in a totally different area. And I even went back and checked my footage of like, is it just my peanut brain not remembering it? Nope. So I don't know why that happened. I don't know if I was doing too good and they hadn't make it more difficult. Because if you meet her where I met her in the PlayStation playthrough of the second area, she gives you her blessing, which makes all enemies do 20% more damage to you. And I'm like, oh, thanks, Chief.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, she's a bit of a punk. But I'm enjoying it on PlayStation. I definitely need to jump into it more and just kind of make it part of the routine. But I'm just happy it's there. The big one I want to talk about is not a new one, but I did start Mouse PI over entirely, and I played that for about 5 hours yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I've played it way past our stream point. I had talked about it. I was like, I don't know if this will be a stream regular or if this will just be a one-off of like, hey, this game's out, go check it out type deal. Absolutely loving my time with it. I have been much better on the collectibles because I've been very meticulous of like, all right, I gotta look everywhere, not miss anything. I have missed a few things here and there, but thankfully the shop has had my ass covered for especially the playing cards, the baseball things, because they're so fucking small.
Yeah.
But I'm really liking where the story's going. It seems like there's 3 different main cases that Jack Pepper and you will kind of go over in this game, just based on his little clue board. It takes up the whole space. And discovering the second and third, I'm like, oh, these are cool. There's a lot of... We talked about darker themes last week of like where it was hinting at some of the overarching world is. The second case is dealing with a lot of that where it's very classist or they're messing with not undesirables, but I guess for the bad person's perspective, like it's the rats dealing with the shrews and they are kind of kicking out these people from their homes and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, okay, this story's gonna go places and stuff like that. There's corruption in the police force and you're dealing with that. So I've enjoyed it from a narrative standpoint. Let's put that out there. And then you have another case where you are trying to find out what happened to the magician's assistant. If you read into the articles early on, you learn that she has gone missing, and it turned out she was killed, but we don't know exactly how. And you meet another character who's like, hey, I think this is a bigger thing, and she was murdered, and I'd like you to figure it out. So you're kind of exploring those avenues and figuring that out. So yeah, I've been enjoying what the story's been doing. There's been some more fun game mechanics that I've stumbled upon, like a grappling hook or a propeller like floating type mechanic along with the double jump. That's been neat. The game also has started throwing out a bunch of random references to me. I'm not going to spoil them, but they make me laugh every time. There's one that was the first one I ran into that I will spoil, that I just had a fun laugh with. It was Resident Evil. They had the whole, you go in the police station, and they had the whole banner for Leon Kennedy of like his first day. Yay! And I was like, hey! So I thought that was
That's
cute.
pretty good.
But there's a lot of references throughout that are very fun, and appreciate that they included them. Baseball game still kicks ass. Absolutely love it. I'm loving the new cards I'm finding. At a certain point, once you find enough cards, because they don't want you to have like giant decks where you never run into the good cards. You start picking cards to banish, and those cards won't appear in the game. I haven't tested it because I'm just being like, oh, well, I don't want this low ranking card to pop in. I don't know if it's across both you and your opponent, if it's like a Pokemon or a Yu-Gi-Oh where it's like this game is banned from all play. So I don't know if you could strategize and be like, oh, well, this card is really, really good. I don't want to deal with that card. If you banish that card, if it affects both of you, I've been kind of scared to test it, to be honest.
Right.
But it's a nice thing to kind of run into. And with me being a little bit more strict on the collectible side of things and making sure I find it, I've had some money left over. So I've been able to buy buffs, like a power swing card and a fielding card to make it so I can buff my other player cards more effectively during the game. So that's been nice. So it's kind of that reward of like, you took the time to explore. Now you have these resources to pour and dump into this mini game that you play. So I'm about halfway of the tokens to figure out what's in the lockbox for the mini game side of it. In terms of the base game story, I think I'm nearing that halfway point, but I'm not at it directly. So I hope to keep playing it and finish it up for hopefully next week's episode, so I can maybe give it one more final shout and review, if you want to put it that way. But I'm enjoying my time with it. Highly recommend people check this out. If you like the Doom likes, if you want just a fun artistic mystery game, it's really good in that too. But that's all of it. Oh no, okay. Tiny quick little shout. Pocopia. Shocker. Brett's been playing Pocopia. I just want to give a shout. I know a lot of people already know about this probably because they've been playing it more tediously than I have, or more focused. I found a really cool thing on the Dream Islands. The Dream Islands are just like randomly generated things that you can travel to with Drifloon, and it's kind of like resource stuff, and you can kind of find more rare items from time to time that you can kind of pilfer, bring back to your place
It's like
and decorate with. Like Animal
Crossing.
Yeah.
Where you take the flights. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. Same exact mechanic. I would say this one's a little bit more limited in comparison to Animal Crossing, because obviously Animal Crossing, you were doing it for mainly the villagers. Like, oh, I want to stumble upon the Swiss cheese mouse and bring him back. Cheddar, I think was his name. He was my homie. Anyways, they didn't have that in Pocopia, or at least I thought. You couldn't find Pokemon there. I found my first Pokemon on a Dream Island.
Oh, wow.
You can find legendaries, TJ. I found my first legendary. It was so cool. I'm just in the caves and I'm like breaking shit and I'm like, fuck is this? I walk in and then there's a whole cutscene. I'm like, ah! It's so and so. I won't say who it is, but I thought that was really cool. No.
Okay.
But so just for the Pocopia fans, maybe invest in the Dream Islands a little bit more. You only get one per day, and depending on the doll that you interact with, that will determine what island resources you're going to get. But yeah, don't be afraid to explore there and explore underground, I will say. It's random, so you won't get it every time, obviously, with this being my first, but check it out. And that was a fun, nice surprise. But that's it for what I've been playing.
Well, before we move on, Brett, I actually just wanted to ask you, you were talking about how next week you might review Mouse PI for Hire.
Yeah.
Have you seen IGN's review?
The 6, the okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not even mad at the number. It was his reasoning was behind it.
I didn't read it.
So bizarre. Yeah, he was talking about how it wasn't as serious of a noir enough, and that they keep referencing cheese, and it was like such a ridiculous reason. It was like the too much water thing all over again, where it was like, what? Why is this even an issue for this reviewer? So that was a bit bizarre. I hope your review goes over much more smoothly.
Yeah, it'll probably just be like brief overthoughts. I'm not gonna like be like giving it a number value or anything, but figured I could do that in closing. Yeah, that's an interesting point to bring up. I get it. Yeah, it's goofy that way, but it's a world where they're mice. That's the main thing. So yeah, they're gonna make references to these things. I get it, but okay. Literally like the review. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Well, speaking of okay, we'll see if this next section goes okay, because we are going into our mystery section. And TJ, a while back, you and I played a game together called Guess the Game. Oh, there, hold on. We played a game together called Guess the Game. Well, Guess the Game, we are going to be playing again as a team. I'm going to let you lead. However, this is Guess the Poorly Described Game. So
oh gosh, okay.
It's going to have different text that I'm going to be reading out to you, and audience, feel free to play along. And you and I are going to try and guess the game based on these poor descriptions. There are 6 descriptions that it will have available to us, progressively getting more probably descriptive or accurate, or however you want to say it, as we go along. Do you have any questions before we start?
That seems pretty self-explanatory, yet difficult. I feel like I'm not going to be very good at this, so we'll just have to see.
No worries, yeah, and we'll see how many we go through, obviously, based on time. But, all right, game number 1. Description is as follows. A heavily breathing man is terrified of the dark and absolutely refuses to fight back against anyone. Once again, a heavily breathing man is terrified of the dark and absolutely refuses to fight back against anyone.
Is it Outlast?
All right.
Because you don't do any fighting in Outlast, as far as I remember.
It's got to be something spooky. All right, submit. Okay, unfortunately was not Outlast. All right, we have our second description along with a Metacritic score. I'll read the description first. You drink strange potions you find on the floor while playing the ultimate game of hide and seek in a drafty basement. This game got a Metacritic score of 85%.
Drink potions you find on the ground in a basement. I don't know. I don't know what this could be. This doesn't sound like any game I've ever played.
Do you drink anything in Silent Hill?
No. You take medical pills and like syringes.
Okay.
At least in Silent Hill 2, the remake.
It said it was a large dude. Heavy breathing man. Okay, so he doesn't have to be large. He's just tired or running. Which, I mean, if I'm running a lot from scary things, yeah, I'm going to be breathing heavy too. I don't think it's this game, but it popped in my mind. I'm going to go with post-trauma.
Okay.
Which I did stream. Oh, is it not going to be here? Trauma Center. I don't want Trauma Center. You guys not have indie games? Come on. Winning post. Okay, maybe this isn't a good guess. There's 200 results. I don't want to scroll through all these.
Oh my gosh. It's probably not that game then.
Nope. All right,
it's not popping up, yeah.
Let's just go Silent Hill because it's on my mind. Submit. No. Okay. Oh, okay. We get some more information here. Description number 3. Staring directly at a brick wall in the pitch black is an entirely valid survival strategy to avoid losing your mind. The original platform is PC. I have a guess, but do you have any leanings off of this third description?
The Blair Witch? I don't know.
Okay. My guess was Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't remember the potions part of it. But you don't do anything in Five Nights. You are stuck in that chair. But staring at a brick wall as a strategy doesn't seem applicable. So let's go Blair Witch. Submit. Nope. Okay, no shit game. Genre, horror. Yeah, we didn't get that.
Yeah.
All right, 4th description. An interior design nightmare where you obsessively hoard tinder boxes and throw wooden chairs at weird fleshy dudes with massive jaws.
What is happening? Is this game real? Am I having a fever dream? Is that what's happening right now? Throw chairs at enemies with fleshy. What the fuck? What the helly? What the heliante?
PC.
This has got to be a game I haven't heard of before.
5%. Wooden chairs. Alright, I'm just gonna say Five Nights for the hell of it, even though it's not. Let's do that.
FNAF.
Okay, originally released in 2010. You wake up in a spooky Prussian castle with a terrible hangover, and your only I can read. Your only goal is to kill an evil baron while avoiding invisible water hazards? What? One more time. You wake up in a spooky Prussian castle with a terrible hangover, and your only goal is to kill an evil baron while avoiding invisible water hazards. Jesus
Yes,
Christ.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
Vampire. Oops, I can spell. Vampire the Masquerade. Bloodlines. No.
Okay.
All right. Is developed by Frictional Games. You intentionally forget absolutely everything except your name, Daniel. And now you must explore a terrifying castle with a lantern that burns oil way too fast.
Alone in the Dark?
This is our last guess. Alone in the Dark. Ooh, no, it was not. Oh, that's what it is. The answer was Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
Yeah, a game I've never played, so there's no way I would have gotten that. Yeah.
But I do remember that one being a popular one.
Oh boy, I bet you Mike's bashing his head against the wall right now, being like, "It's Amnesia."
Really? Oh, okay. There. I was like, "There's only one day of this bullshit." No, I just had to scroll. Okay. Game 2. An immigrant's pursuit of the American dream is constantly derailed by aggressive invitations to indoor sports. I know this one immediately.
Grand Theft Auto 4.
Hey, Nico, you want to go bowling?
Bowling? Yeah.
Submit. It is. Woohoo!
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Yeah, redemption. Alrighty. Game number 3. A silent guy in a very problematic looking hat wakes up from a nap to beat up floating babies and crying statues.
I'm sorry, what the hell?
From the top, a silent guy in a very problematic looking hat wakes up from a nap to beat up floating babies and crying statues.
A silent guy, so that narrows it down. It's going to be a silent protagonist.
Yeah. Problematic looking hat.
Yeah, what does that even mean? Do you have a phallic headwear? Is that what's going on?
Either that or like any characters wear a hood that's pointed.
Oh yeah, I didn't even go that direction. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like that was the only thing that came to mind.
Assassin's Creed.
Floating babies and crying statues in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, yeah. You've played Origins, right?
No.
there's a Sphinx in there. There's got to be some.
No. Okay, and it's not in the Assassin's Creed franchise.
Okay.
All right, number 2. This has a Metacritic score of 84. You are literally too angry to die, so you run around a deeply disturbing church camp, hitting giant hands with a swinging incense burner.
I'm going to guess Lords of the Fallen.
Ooh. Out now on PlayStation Plus for free. And I picked it up there. All right, Lords of the Fallen. Ooh, no. Okay.
Okay.
All right, platform. Original platform. PC, Switch, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. Okay, so it's a lot of places. Local man refuses to speak, uses self-flagellation, and 3 new sharp sticks to stop a giant heart in the sky from giving birth. What the fuck are these descriptions?
What is this game?
Local man refuses to speak, uses self-flagellation, and 3 new sharp sticks to stop a giant heart in the sky from giving birth.
Breath of the Wild.
Well, that wouldn't be on all the other platforms. That would only be on
Switch. Yeah, you're right.
Can I throw a weird one at you?
Yeah.
Because we just talked about it. Is this Slay the Spire?
Oh yeah, giant heart in the sky.
Yeah, that was the only reason I. It's not, damn it. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. The genre is Metroidvania, a 2D platformer where everyone is excessively sorry about everything, but they still try to brutally murder you with religious iconography.
Oh, is this blasphemous?
Blasphemous. That's a good guess. No.
Oh
Ooh,
man.
it is in the franchise. So would you like to try Blasphemous 2?
Yeah, Blasphemous 2, because that's the only other game in the franchise.
All right. I will just read the description information. Original release was 2023. It is the second game about extreme Catholic guilt, now featuring 3 weapons instead of 1 sword, but keeping the same pointy helmet.
Yep, this is definitely blasphemous.
It was Blasphemous 2. Very good job. Excellent work. All right, let's go on to game number 4. All right, you are an overworked aerial taxi driver whose primary job is shouting through a megaphone at pedestrians.
I
Aerial
would say taxi,
driver?
but aerial taxi driver really throws it off. There's a game, it's like Cloud something where you're an aerial taxi driver, but I don't remember what it's called.
Cloudmaster?
Not Cloudmaster. It
Cloud
was.
Gardens? Cloudscape? Cloud Punk? Not Dark
I
Cloud.
think it might be. I think it might be Cloud Punk actually. Let me pull up the.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cloud Punk is what I'm thinking of.
All right, let's give it a shot. It is not.
Oh man, that's the only game I know about it being a sky taxi. I mean, come on, how much more specific can I get than that? I knew one
right.
sky taxi game.
So Metacritic score, it is too old for Metacritic. So it's an older title. Description 2, you spend your days kidnapping injured people with a harness and dropping water buckets on neighborhood barbecue accidents. Is this like a Sim City?
It's a Mile High Taxi.
Mile High Taxi. I do not have that as an option here, so I don't think so.
Okay.
Try SimCity for the hell of it. Oh, it is in the SimCity franchise.
Oh wow. Okay. That's crazy.
All right, third one, original platform PC, shocker. Third description, a 90s gig economy simulator where you constantly switch between being an airborne paramedic, a firefighter, and an anti-riot police officer. I think it's
It's got to be you.
2000?
I do not know. I've never played a SimCity game.
Oh, they're pretty fun. They're hard as shit because as a kid, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're just putting water everywhere and electric wires. Ooh, it's not SimCity 2004. Oh, that's. This might be potential bullshit where it's in the same franchise. Game description 4. It is a flight simulator for genre. Description 4. You finally get to see the blocky metropolis you've previously built from a top-down perspective, but now you have to save its tiny, chaotic citizens from their own stupidity. Okay, maybe it's not stupid. I thought it was like, oh, it's going to be a airport simulator, a plane simulator. But let's see. I looked up SimCity. We have SimCity Creator, we have SimCity DS, we have SimCity 3000, SimCity 4. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, brother.
There's a Simcopter, but that doesn't sound like a building thing.
There's only 2 SimCities on Steam.
Okay.
And it's SimCity 4 Deluxe and SimCity 3000 Unlimited, and I don't think it's either of these games.
Are either of them old?
Yes, both of them are older.
All right, I'm going to try 4 for the hell of it. No. The original release was 1996. It is a spin-off game where you import your Retro Metropolis save files just to fly around them in a rotary wing aircraft and deal with traffic jams. I'm going Simcopter.
It's got to be it.
It was Simcopter. All right. I guess
Simcopter. Okay.
I was just too focused on the city building stuff to rule that out.
Yeah.
Fine. All right, one more for the road, folks. Okay, game number 5. A blonde guy really struggles to find his favorite brand of chewing gum while the local law enforcement gets unusually aggressive.
Duke Nukem Forever.
Okay, if this is Duke Nukem Forever, then we'll do a 6, because, yeah, that was way too easy. Where are you? It was not, but it is in that franchise.
Duke Nukem 3D.
La 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 la. Oopsie. Okay, not even reading the description for this one. You got it. All right, cool.
All right, cool.
The description was a tourist vacation is ruined by illegal extraterrestrial aliens, so he decides to tip local exotic dancers and complain about his lack of gum. All right, now one more for the road. Game 6.
7. Oh, no, it's 6. You're right.
A smooth jazz listening app where you occasionally wash a used car and change its oil.
Oh, I think I know this game, but I can't remember the title of it. It's like My Summer Car or something.
Oh.
Yeah, try My Summer Car.
Sure. It is not. Bummer.
Oh,
that would have
wow.
been clutch. Metacritic score of 84%. You spend hours trying to pass an arbitrary driving exam just so you can legally drive a 1998 Japanese hatchback at 30 miles per hour.
I have no idea, Brett.
SpongeBob SquarePants. No, let's see. Do you do it in oh shit, what was the game that got a third one not too long ago that everybody was stoked on? Shenmue? Is this a Shenmue?
It sounds like it could be a Shenmue questline.
Damn it, it's not. Alright. Original platform was the PlayStation 3. Yikes, I think this might be a weak area for both of us.
Yeah.
A photography and car washing simulator that forces you to yell at a lazy AI driver who refuses to overtake anyone.
That does sound like Shenmue. Lazy AI driver. I was going to say LA Noire, but I guess you drive yourself around in LA Noire and it has nothing to do with anything else. So
photography, though.
Yeah.
You could try it. I do remember that being on PlayStation 3.
Sonic Racing. Crossworlds.
That's too cute. All right, I tried LA Noire. It is not that.
Yeah.
All right, genre is racing simulation. A digital hoarding problem, or half of your 1,000 vehicles look like they were imported from a previous console generation. Damn.
I'm gonna say this is a like a Need for Speed game, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Need for Speed, Most Wanted.
Most Wanted's a good one. Oops. All right, Need for Speed Most Wanted is not it, and it's not in the franchise.
Not in the franchise. Oh boy. Oh brother.
Original release was from 2010. You buy hundreds of expensive vehicles, stare at incredibly classy menus, and spend days completing 24-hour endurance races. I think this is a Gran Turismo.
That sounds like Gran Turismo, actually, yeah.
But now I gotta think of which one. PlayStation 3. I'm trying to think. 7 was PlayStation 5. So is it like a 4 or a 5?
Try 4.
4 it is. It is in the franchise, but it was not 4. All right.
Wow.
Developer is Polyphony? Yeah, digital. Sony's massive PlayStation 3 real driving simulation that took forever to develop and lets you race around Nürburgring, yep, in virtually any car ever made. I believe this is the last guess. Yeah. So Gran Turismo.
Guess Gran Turismo 5, maybe, 5. Or 3?
I feel like 3's PlayStation 2 era. I think that's too early. So let's try 5. We got it! Yay! It was
Yay!
5.
All right. That was
Nice.
clutch coming up with the Gran Turismo there.
Thank you, thank you.
I didn't realize there was a storyline about like getting a car to drive and stuff. Yeah, I
Yeah,
had no
no,
idea.
no. Was that what the movie was based on?
Oh dear, let's not talk about that movie.
Well, that's gonna wrap up our mystery section, everybody. Appreciate you guys sticking through it with us there. Hopefully you got some of those guesses, and let us know when you got those guesses. Mike on the first one. Anyways, let's head into our last section for the episode. Let's talk about what do we want to be playing? Future games, backlog games. What do we want to be playing next? TJ, what do you want to be playing next?
Well, it's a game I mentioned earlier, a game that I played for maybe half hour, 45 minutes, because I did buy it on sale for, I think it was like $5 or $10 or something. But that game being Lords of the Fallen.
Mm.
There was a Steam medieval sale, and so I got Lords of the Fallen with that. And while I didn't really get to play it much, I got to play it a little bit. I chose the Viking dude because he has a great sword, and I love the great sword in Elden Ring. So I'm just like, or the Claymore and stuff in Elden
Mm.
Ring. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stick with the Claymore vibes. So I chose the Viking character. Um, that's really all I have to say about it. Also, besides the fact that the storyline, it's like a demon takes over this like fantasy land,
Mm.
and then a hero rises up to take on the demon guy. And the lantern helps him, and then he dies. He fails, and he tells the lantern to find who's ever worthy next, and it lands in a corpse, and that corpse is you. And then
Mm.
you rise up with the lantern, and it's your turn to fight on the demon lord. So, pretty cool storyline, honestly. It's really hard to compete with From Software when it comes to like the atmosphere and worlds and story and stuff like that. So, to even give it an attempt is pretty admirable and cool to throw into your Souls-like gameplay. So I'm excited to see if the gameplay holds up or if it's on par. And yeah, I'm excited to see where the game goes.
Very cool. Yeah, I just grabbed that. Like I said, on PlayStation Plus, it's for the April stuff as free games, so I added it to my library. I remember seeing the trailer for it. I was like, "Whoa, this looks awesome!" So, yeah, hopefully, some point I'll have it, played it as well. But cool, glad you're jumping into it.
Yeah.
Very nice. For mine is a future release, and it's going to be releasing next month in May. Just want to give a shout out to Lego Batman: The Dark Knight Legacy, or whatever the fuck the subtitle is for it. I've been seeing some more reveals on it of some skins they got in there. They got the Absolute Batman skin in there, and then they revealed Batmite will be making an appearance. So yeah, I don't know. These Lego games kick ass usually, and to see that they're obviously expanding on what they normally do with the Arkham kind of gameplay, and then taking kind of some movie elements as well as the open world. I'm just excited to jump in there and be one of those games of like, just chill, relax, don't have to give it too much thought, punch some Lego bricks, collect some studs, have a good time with that. So just wanted to give that a shout. But
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely. I'm excited for that too.
nice. But everybody, this has been another episode of the Relatively Gaming Podcast. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us each and every week. Remember, new episodes do drop on Monday at 12 noon Eastern, both on YouTube and Spotify. So you can check it out there. Share it with anybody you think would enjoy it. Helps us out if you guys do that, as well as hitting like and subscribe wherever you are. If you ever have a topic of discussion that you'd like us to cover, put it down in the comment section down below and we will get to it. We had a fan topic recently that will be making an appearance in a future episode. So we just got to do some playing around that, but thank you for that. I think that's everything in terms of rigmarole. TJ, as always, thank you so much, sir, for recording today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Of course, you looking forward to playing more Elden Ring?
I'm gonna go play more Elden Ring as soon as this recording's done, to be honest with you.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Well, everybody, thank you guys so much for giving this a watch, giving it a listen, and we will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye.